Hello, welcome back to In Bed with a Nerd. Today I'm going to be talking about big data. Now, this book's a little bit obliterated. Unfortunately, it got saturated on a recent trip to Mauritius, and I've had to have it sitting outside on my balcony to dry. But that aside, let's discuss data. Yeah, fascinating topic. Now, obviously, in the times that we live, storage and processing capacity of data has never become easier. You've got massive companies like Google, like Amazon, like Facebook, who are collecting user data and storing that every single day. Everything from search queries, our age, our statistics, who we interact with, who we're messaging, what we're talking about, what we're posting, blah, blah, blah. Now, the interesting thing about data is that it can be held and it can be captured and saved for a long period of time. Now, when you get very, very intelligent people who are able to apply mathematical algorithms to that data, they're able to generate some very, very interesting conclusions about users themselves. Now, we're all aware of this. This is why, well, actually, I wouldn't say all of us, but some of us are aware of this. The reason why services like Facebook and Google are free is because they're able to take our data, they collect our data, and they'll either sell that on to third parties or they'll use that data to create new businesses around that data and sell products back to us. Makes sense, so nothing's ever really free, but it appears free on the surface because they're able to use and create value from what it is they collect from our data. Now, I think what blew my mind today and what I wanted to talk about most was that in relation to data, there were some companies that have released, like AOL was an example given in this book, that released a data set, I think of 657,000 search queries in like 2006. And they anonymized the data. So that means they took away any of the information that was supposed to be able to lead directly back to the person who provided the data. So they got rid of names, they got rid of birthdays, and they got rid of addresses, so that when regular people were interacting and playing with the data, they weren't supposed to be able to trace that data back to the original source. Now, one of the risks that has come with the shift of big data, that is essentially collecting and storing everything, is that there's no such thing really as anonymous data anymore, because applying the right mathematical algorithms, you can actually de-anonymize data. Now, there were two cases already, just from this AOL example, of de-anonymization being used to be able to figure out exactly who that data belonged to, even though all of the markers of who that data was, the identifying markers such as name, had been removed. Now, if you think about the implications of that, you've got these companies selling data on you to essentially the highest bidder, that's going to get out and be used. We've just got to hope that people aren't using it for nefarious purposes. The fact that we can de-anonymize data and trace that back to an individual, even though there's no key markers, it's very, very interesting. It's a very, very powerful tool, but it's something that we as regular people who are giving away loads of free information about our preferences, what we're into, what we research, what we read about, could potentially be used against us in the future. And obviously the storage of that data is getting cheaper and cheaper, and they're going to be able to hold it for longer and longer. And I know in Australia, with Tony Abbott trying to make ISPs, internet service providers, hold our data for longer periods of time, it's going to be interesting to see what ASIO and the ASIS are going to be able to do with our data in the future for people that are dissidents against the political parties and the political system in Australia. So yeah, just a little bit of background on big data, why it's amazing and a powerful tool and can be used to generate some amazing things for us as end users, but also why it's something we have to be careful about, and we have to really be sure that what we're sharing and what we're talking about is something that we don't mind being traced back to us in, say, 5, 10, 15 years' time, given how quickly political climates, etc., can change. Anyways, I hope you've enjoyed my little spiel on data. I'll probably do another video on this because it's such a deep topic and I'm really, really fascinated by it. Anyways, I hope you're all well. Thank you for watching. Bye.